Seated comfortably and relaxed. I'm listening to the words of the wisest companion, the Supreme Soul, the one that is guiding the consciousness towards the destination of being an angel. These are the words of the Supreme Soul. Let us listen to them in the awareness of being a soul without a body, incorporeal, and invisible. At this time of the confluence age, your truthful actions are great. This is a speciality of this time. Human beings go in a circle around the Supreme Soul. But what does the Supreme Soul do at present? The Supreme Soul goes on a tour following his children. He puts his children at the front and himself follows them. In every act, the Supreme Soul says, "Come on, children, come on, children." This too is a speciality. He makes you children the masters, and he himself becomes the child. This is why he salutes you every morning. As I was listening to the words of the Supreme Soul, I am now considering, what does it mean? And how can I understand my relation with the one that is usually a Supreme Father, a Supreme Mother, a Supreme Friend? And in the past, the soul was interested in external rituals, in what was showing others how to be a good devotee, how to have loyalty. All was external. All was partially for show. And if there was anything out of the love of the heart, it was still based on ignorance, confusion. Once you understand the knowledge from the Supreme Soul, you don't need to do that external rituals. Even to go to 4 different places, even to go on a tour, on a pilgrimage, to visit a certain space, hoping that you will receive a certain experience. All of that are based on some kind of ignorance, confusion, not full light. The perspective of the Supreme Soul is that he is following you, the soul who surrenders his mind and intellect to a wiser cause, to the wiser companion. In this spiritual endeavor, you are giving everything to understand who you are and to help others understand. In this task, the Supreme Soul is happy to follow you. What can you want more than that? To follow someone means to recognize their importance. He recognizes you are very important. He recognizes your contribution to the task of changing the world. The Supreme Soul is happy to follow you as a child. Now, for a moment, consider the relationship between a child and a mother. And can you understand yourself as a mother of the Supreme, as a one who looks after the truth, as a one who takes care of everyone, of how everyone feels, of how everyone can make progress and remove sorrow of the world? That is such a beautiful awareness that someone like the wisest companion is ready to look at you as being his mother, as being the one that can take care, the one that can uplift and nourish and heal the wounds of everyone. Let us listen one more paragraph from what the Supreme Soul has been speaking to the human soul. And again, listening in the awareness of being an invisible, incorporeal, divine soul. Has the Supreme Soul made you belong to Him? Or have you made Him belong to you? What would you say? Who has made the other belong to them? The Supreme Soul feels that the children have made him belong to him. Children are clever, and the Father is also clever. Only He knows what is in your intellects, and in your intellects is constantly the Word, the Supreme Soul. Every step you take is for the service of world benefit. A life of a spiritual student is when there is remembrance in your every thought and service in your every action. If you don't have remembrance or service, there is no student life. What do you feel when you listen to these words? Do you feel that you can make the Supreme Soul belong to you? Someone who is the wisest, someone who is almighty authority. He has all the powers, all the virtues, and he is willing to help you to regain your happiness. When someone belongs to you, you feel you have a right on them. And here, you, the soul, can have a right on the Supreme Soul. You can ask him, how is my day? How can I change my day? How can I experience happiness today? How can I help others experience happiness? That is a relationship of the one who trusts the Supreme Soul and the one who is willing to belong. First, you belong to the one from above, and then he belongs to you. And when the Supreme Soul belongs to you, you feel that all your desires are fulfilled. You feel that He is here to make you experience a life of peace, a life of happiness, of contentment, a life where you are lovely and loving. In His presence, you experience that you are constantly at your best. We call that remembrance. Remembrance can be constant when you are in the presence of someone. To have a heart that constantly remembers something higher, that constantly beats for the benefit of the world, a heart that constantly keeps qualities of the Supreme Soul. How can anyone do that in this world? You can do that by experiencing the presence of the Supreme Soul. When you are in the presence of someone, you're not making any effort to remember them. So constant remembrance is possible when you are in their presence, when you listen to them, you speak to them, you follow their directions, and they will follow you. I will follow you, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. There was a song like that, I will follow you. That is the attitude of the one who has found the Supreme Soul and who understands that everything the Supreme Soul gives you is for your benefit. You have nothing to lose. Actually, there is never any feeling of loss. And how do you do all of that? How can you truly change your life to such an extent that you feel the Supreme Soul belongs to you, follows you, listens to you, helps you at every step? You will feel like a king. You will feel like you don't need anything else from this world if someone who is almighty powerful helps you at every step. What is one ingredient? That one ingredient is called service. And service means a mindset of putting others first, thinking of the benefit of everyone around you. And not only at the physical level, you may want to give them something, you may want to help them in a task, but at the subtle level, the level of thoughts, when your thoughts are becoming pure, when your thoughts are becoming benevolent, constantly benevolent, then you can say, yeah, now I can help others in their attitude, in their vision, in their way of being. I hope you can see the image in the background, and I can again become invisible for you to see it fully. And what it says is that in the awareness of the human soul, you can have the two areas. One is remembrance, knowing who you truly are, you are a soul. And the other one is service, sharing with others the vision that they are all good, they are all eternal divine souls. And then there is the awareness of the Supreme Soul. In the awareness of the Supreme Soul are you, the children. He feels that all of you are his children. All of you are pure, elevated, beautiful, and divine. So his awareness is only one. He sees everyone with the vision of being the best. And he also feels at the same time that you are in front of him and that you are serviceable. He can help you, and you can also become someone who helps others. In his awareness, everything is one. You are good, you are with Him, and you can help everyone else. So, our understanding from these elevated words of the Supreme can be, let us unify our remembrance and our service. Whenever you can create a thought that you are a soul, and in that awareness of a divine soul, you are in the presence, in the company of the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul and you, the soul, are a family. You are in a bond of love. You are in a bond of joyful companions who are transforming the awareness of all human souls. This becomes your awareness. This becomes your service. We continue listening to the words of the Supreme Soul tomorrow at the same time. Wishing you a wonderful day. Bye bye.